Have you been searching for ways to earn additional income while maintaining your current position? Or are you searching for one of the best home-based income opportunities? If you are looking for a side hustle or a profitable home-based business that you can start with little capital, you may want to consider buying and selling items. It is known as flipping, and nearly anyone can do it. You do not need a substantial amount of capital or extensive training to get started. You may begin with no money in your possession. If you enjoy bargain hunting and find it enjoyable, then flipping items for profit is for you. Flipping is the process of evaluating items that have little or no value to their current owners and selling them to people who require them. In other words, a flipper is a person who purchases an item from one market at a lower price and then resells it in another market for a higher price. To gain a better understanding of how flipping works, this story about a happily married couple may be helpful. John and Martha's relationship spans a decade. John was an automobile inspector, as Martha was employed as a choreographer. If you're finding value in this video thus far, could you please pause it right now? Simply click the like button, then subscribe to this channel for additional informative videos like this one. Good. Now, let's return to our narrative. Before he met Martha, John had been buying and selling items as a side business. He continued his profession after their marriage. John's profits allowed him to provide his family with additional comfort, such as paying for enjoyable vacations and maintaining a spotless credit record. Martha had no interest in her husband's side business prior to the birth of their child. The organization she worked for did not provide her with paid maternity leave. After several weeks of not receiving Martha's paychecks, the couple began to feel the effects. Therefore, the new mother decided to try some of the things she had observed her husband do. She quickly gathered unused items from their home, photographed them, and listed them on several online marketplaces. It started out as a joke to her. Soon thereafter, the listed items began to sell, and Martha witnessed money pouring in. When she ran out of unused items from their home, she began accompanying her husband to flea markets and yard sales in search of merchandise. She went from earning a few $100s in her first month to several $1,000s in profit per month very quickly. Martha obviously never returned to her job as a choreographer. Today, the couple's full-time occupation is buying and selling items, and they are living the good life. Regarding their dreams, here are some advantages of buying and selling merchandise. The threshold is low. In order to build a startup business in any niche, it may be necessary to follow certain procedures. This may involve registering your business name, renting office space, and employing personnel to assist you. This requires a substantial amount of money, time, and effort. You may need tens of thousands of dollars to launch your business. However, you can begin reselling items for a profit with only $10 to $50. In addition, you need not invest a great deal of time in planning and execution. As is the case with other organizations, you can begin flipping immediately if you so desire. It can be done while maintaining a full-time position. You do not need an infinite amount of time to succeed in this buying and selling business. The only requirement for a startup is 15 to 20 hours of work per week. This minimal time commitment is sufficient to generate a few $100s while increasing your exposure in your new trade. It has the possibility of becoming a full-time occupation. As your skills improve, you may be able to earn enough money to replace your current salary. Then you may wish to devote more time to it. As was the case with John and Martha, flipping could become your full-time occupation. Furthermore, you become your own boss and have complete authority over your time. It increases income. If you are currently living from paycheck to paycheck, you may find it difficult to pay your bills. You may be struggling to pay your credit card debts with your mortgage payment. You may not even have the funds to pursue some of your fantasies. But an additional income from flipping could provide the necessary funds to live your dreams and remain debt-free. It is a win-win situation for everyone involved. The definition of an item that you could sell is that someone somewhere wants to rid their home of excess belongings. They may offer you a discounted price. Ultimately, they are pleased to earn money from a product they do not require. Then, when you sell this item to someone who requires it, they are pleased to obtain it. You are pleased not only to provide value, but also to have earned a substantial profit with minimal effort. Simple procedures for becoming a flipper. First, begin in your home and neighborhood. Consider your home. From one room to the next, thoroughly clean every corner of your home. If you have a large home or a large number of items, begin with one section at a time. You may divide the items you have discovered into 3 categories. The first category should contain items that you can still use. These are items you may wish to retain. The second group should consist of items that may not be useful to you or anyone else. This second group of objects should be discarded. The third category is for items you no longer require but could be useful to others. These are the items that require cleaning and market preparation. Rearrange your home and return the first group of items to their proper locations while discarding the second group. The third category is what you seek, and you now possess it. In addition to your home, you may search your neighborhood. If you have cooperative neighbors, politely request the items they no longer need from their homes. You may be surprised to discover that they will gladly hand you these items. Second, research. Even though the items are yours, you may not be aware of how valuable or relevant they are to those in need. You can conduct some internet research to determine how much similar or related items are valued. With the information you possess, you can estimate the price at which your products could be sold. Even though you're still a beginner, you wouldn't want to skimp on your education. Third, take pictures. You should take photographs of all of the items you intend to sell. This does not require a high-tech camera. You only need your smartphone. Place the items in order on a spot with a clean background in your home. Photograph each object from various angles, such as the front, rear, and side. You can take multiple photos simultaneously and then choose the best ones later. Ensure that there is adequate lighting in the room. You may need to use some common photo editing applications to brighten the photos. The majority of these applications are downloadable online and simple to use. However, this is not entirely required. 4. List your products for sale. Now that you have photographs of your products, it is time to list them for sale. Register with an online marketplace such as eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and Poshmark. 5. Please. On many of these platforms, registration is free, but you may be required to pay a commission for each sale you make. For example, eBay deducts a 10% commission from each sale. Additionally, you should determine the payment platform you will use to receive payments. The vast majority of online marketplaces accept PayPal as a payment method. If you intend to use PayPal to receive funds, you should be aware that PayPal deducts 3% from each successful transaction. Therefore, you should include these additional costs in your price tag. Suppose you intend to list an $80 product on eBay. Taking into account the 10% eBay will take and the 3% PayPal will deduct, it will be cheaper to list the item for $100. I hope this is clear. Good. You may now upload the images you captured of the products. Ensure that each image corresponds to the listing you are creating for it. Check your spelling and numbers for errors. Check to see if they match your intended descriptions. Don't be like Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones omitted a zero from the price of a product he intended to sell for $1,000. Therefore, the buyer on the receiving end perceived only $100 instead of $1,000. This item was purchased by Jones for $250. One can only imagine his frustration upon realizing his error. Packaging and shipping your products ranks 5th. Check each item's dimensions and weight before listing it for sale. Note the size measurement of the material that will be used for packaging. The shipping company will bill you based on these numbers. There are 2 ways to charge the customer for shipping. First, include the shipping costs alongside the item's price. Suppose you are selling an antique radio receiver. The price is $200, plus $20 for shipping. List both prices separately so that the buyer is aware that they are paying for 2 distinct costs. 2. Include the shipping cost and the total price of the item in your listing. Then indicate that shipping is free. Using our previous illustration as a guide, let's imagine you are listing a vintage radio receiver. Instead of separately listing $200 for the item and $20 for shipping, the price should be listed as $200 for the item and $20 for shipping. You may choose to price the item at $220 and label the shipment as free. This concept is a marketing strategy that consistently appeals to the psychology of purchasers. Do we not all enjoy free services? Your items should be packaged with materials that are neither too large nor too small. If the container is too large, it may cause the product to shake and become damaged during shipment. In addition, if the casing is too tight, it may cause surface scratches on the product. Your objective should be to maintain the cleanest environment possible. 6. Scale your business. After putting your buying and selling skills to the test, you would have realized how cool it is to make money in this business. It is time to scale your products. You can investigate alternative supply sources. You may want to look beyond your home or your neighbors' homes to source the products you will sell. The time has come for treasure hunting. Look for discounted items in stores like this one, Your Art Sales. Second is the flea market. There are 3 auctions. 4. Estate sales. 5. Second-hand stores. 6. The scrapyard. Here are some items that can be quickly and profitably resold. Furniture, records, turntables, antiques, second-hand appliances, antique, electronic devices, clothing, footwear, cufflinks, vintage eyeglasses, sports memorabilia, collectible toys, bicycles and strollers. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, please indicate your approval by giving it a thumbs up.